I love that infinite mirror shit.
Yeah. Right. We're off.
Who's Mister?
Who's? Ooh.
Hey, Mister, turn your microphone on.
Let's get some discussion.
What if Helena in disguise? Nah, Helena will use. She'll join with like a sarcastic name,
Yeah.
one that makes it seem like she doesn't care. Yeah, I guarantee.
I like the law. I need to change mine.
Yeah, that's rock.
Okay.
All right, we're good. Anyone else can just watch back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right. It's gonna be
There's
quite a
some
lot of
lag
action.
going on,
So.
So, you four table all the time?
Yeah, it might be a mistake. As actually,
That's
well,
probably.
I've always
I
been
will.
like a volume thing, but in
Yeah,
terms
I
of
will tell you in
improving,
the
like,
next 22 minutes. I'll tell you in the next 22 minutes if it's a mistake or not.
well, there's definitely a spot where I messed up, and I knew it straight away.
No, it's all right. Oh, you're allowed to mess up for the sake of volume, but there are also some key signs of too much multi-cabling.
Yeah.
No, don't bet. Don't bet. Stop
What,
it.
top left?
No.
I was gonna
No.
like go tiny.
Yeah, don't. Oh. Jesus. Phew. It was a close one. People ain't checking back fours anywhere near as much as they're checking back like kings, and they ain't calling fours.
Yeah.
Call kings.
Yeah. Might just be. Yeah.
Trust me on that one. It's one of those situations where you might have the best hand most of the time, maybe, but even if you do, they're
They're
only
not
going to
calling
call it
enough.
better hands.
Yeah. You just fold
Apparently
sixes,
Rob
yeah.
doesn't hear anything either.
Uh,
Sorry, it's lagging a lot, so I
dude.
don't know what's happened. Yeah. Should probably tell Helena to fold that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Helena's for sure. Oh, wait, hang on, no, you're 200 big steep. No, cool.
No, we're not.
Get in there.
We're 120. It's in big blinds.
Is that big blinds?
Yeah.
Oh, get the fuck out. Oh no. Alright, yeah, fold
Are
it.
you gonna struggle with this now? Yeah, I use a stars helper to.
Jesus. Helena, can you hear stuff? Oh, she didn't call herself anything weird.
Oh Jesus! We've got loads of people in there. There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, rock. I think I'll type rock. Or maybe you have headphones in.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys got the same layout, but well, you can't hear me, so it's actually pointless me explaining it.
Yeah.
But he might have this bit muted.
Everyone can hear your part.
He might have this bit muted. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can't actually see which. It comes out of the grey box for some reason. Let's keep going. So Helena, so everything's in big blinds, not in dollars.
Why?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Makes it easier.
If there's any player that should be able to just know how many big blinds something is, it's a 6 max cash player.
Yeah, but when I was playing like 16 an hour,
it's always the same denomination. So wait, the bets are in big blinds as well.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Everything's in
I
big
don't like that.
blinds. It's good.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm sure once you get used to it, it's fine.
Yeah. This guy, what do you do here? This guy's like pretty much a whale, top left.
A short folder.
But he's obviously opening
Yeah.
so wide, so big.
Yeah, you can probably get away with the button or the big blind. Obviously the big blind. And if it's three-way, but nah, you're just getting squeezed too often if he is wide enough to call.
Top left, I wasn't sure what's best here.
What, 3-bet?
Yeah, well, I know they got one call
as
as well.
I'm 3-betting. Oh, it's on called.
That guy,
Can't tell if it's just lagging or you're just getting ahead of yourself.
Well, you should catch up now. So I've just paused it. So
is it lagging for other people?
Ugh.
Okay, so who's the opener?
UTG is like a reg playing 23-18, just standard, and then UTG one's probably just like a fish.
Okay, so I'm almost never 3-betting here. What's the regs under the gun open? Do you have that on your HUD?
It's 21% from like 1,000 hands.
Oh, that's loose actually. Yeah, you can go either way. Yeah, fair enough. 21% is pretty ludicrous.
Here's a spot I mess up, top right, I think. Because this guy typed in the chat, ace queen. Just like. So this is.
You gotta use the chat.
This is an interesting spot. He goes ace queen, don't raise. Right, so we've got 3 spots here where I definitely mess up a few of them.
The guy top left. Oh, this guy, the bottom left.
Yeah, so okay. Bottom left is like ace queen, don't raise. Top left, what should I do here?
See that tiny.
Like a third, or
you wanna? So like, it's a fish. It's a fish that has all of his pocket pairs in there. Fish like to put you on ace king if they can. So you just make sure that they don't fold like 4s. You know, so you just go like 7 big blinds. Wow, I hate saying this in big blinds. Yeah.
Okay, I went like 12, and then top right, I see bet a third for on the flop.
Yeah.
And then he led turn.
Yeah,
half pot.
Which is dumb, but yeah.
So I just
here you have a choice. You have a choice between raising small to try and get out his just like ace high weird bluffs. If you think he's that kind of player, you can rep ace jack plus and just fucking go for it. Make it like 20 big blinds, and just fold them off maybe everything, or you can call. So depending on what you think his leading range is.
Yeah, I ended up just calling, I think. So you think this is probably too big? I went about third at 12.
Well, what was your reasoning for going third?
I normally just go a third of range. Just
okay,
to
so
simplify
that's
things.
Not a good thought process. We all right. So pause it there. I got a rant.
Yeah, go on.
So going a third with range against a fish, I mean, against anyone at these stakes is just bad. Against a fish is absolutely terrible. So here's where you're going to be losing a hell of a lot of money in loads and loads of different situations. The only reason you would want to balance out a range, which isn't, you're not even balancing, you're just going a third with range. That's what Tifo probably says to mix your bets. So you're simplifying a GTO strategy against a fish. First of all, you don't want to simplify. Second of all, you're against a fish. Why would you want to play GTO? The only reason you would want to play GTO is if you feel like you're not as good at exploiting as the other person is. If they're playing explosive strategy.
True. Yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
So definitely that thought process there, that will be used in so many different situations, and not only will it be misused, you'll also have that opposing with your exploitative strategies, which just creates a really fuzzy thought process, which if you're 4-tabling is just going to be absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure, if you ever feel yourself justifying something by saying, I'm at the top of my range, I want to bet this with my entire range, I want to balance my range.
It's pretty much my entire way I play, so you'll see a lot of...
Okay, literally terrible. Like, with all due respect,
no.
You can't get away with it on 50 now. And I hope you appreciate it. Try not to be...
No, you go as harsh as you want, I don't mind.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. So the point in exploitative strategy is that you're better at exploiting than the people that you're playing against. If you're playing on 50 and L, then you're going to be better than the people you're playing against if you're a winning player. So everyone else is going to be playing exploit. They might be playing some like Doug Polk style shitty GTO, obviously not as good as Doug.
Yeah.
And you just need to, every single time you have one of those thought processes, you need to slap your own wrist and you need to say, no, that is not right. So here, with the 10s, for instance, is a really simple example. You need to say, what is his range? He can have something like suited broadways. He can have ace jack suited. He can have ace 10 suited. He can have ace king off potentially. He can have all pocket pairs, potentially even deuces if he is a fish. So you
Do
need
you,
to say, okay, how do I get the maximum value from that range? Slash, how do I protect against that range? How do I lose the least against the hands that beat me? And like for me, the intuitive answer is to say bet super small, and hopefully he can think you've got ace king. You can say get value from all other pairs, all 7x, and then you're losing less against queen x as well.
do
What are you gonna say?
you what do you ever think that people just like raise small bets though, like really small bets? Like he might
I
literally put
think
me on ace king and then like min raise back a 7 or something and just put me in a weird spot.
yeah, and then you call, and then if he wants to keep barreling, then that's up to him. But there are
You
certain
sort of
ways to like
evaluate
get
as you go along.
yeah. There are certain ways to get around doing that. So if you wanted to bet, like it's really difficult. This is why you need to turn off the big blind thing,
Right.
because right now his screen doesn't say 12. His screen says
$6.
6.
Yeah.
So if you want to bet a big number that so like a number that looks big, so let's say the pot's now like what is it, like 15, is it
Yeah.
15.9 or something, 1590. You want to be able to bet something like 488. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
you want
literally
to
just
you
what
want
I
to
was
make it
thinking.
look so
489. Yeah.
confident and big to a fish that they're not going to be like, oh, fucking spaz raise. You know,
Yeah.
so that even though it doesn't sound like that big a thing, I promise there's like a huge element of psychological warfare between you and probably everyone, but especially fish, that you can go towards. So I would recommend, if it isn't too much of an issue, turning
Nah,
off
nah.
that thing
I've
and trying
only.
to like experiment with
Yeah.
bet sizes that look big and look small and shit like that. Because especially if you get into tournaments and live tournaments, especially that shit's just huge.
Yeah, I can imagine it in live being a bit like huge. Like when you play live and there's certain people who like to bet with certain chips and like they like using the
Yeah,
bigger denomination of chips, and if you want them to cool, you make sure they don't cut out. It's like easy for them to cool, stuff like that.
yeah, exactly. And
Uh,
that same shit, even though it's not as much, it still carries over to online.
okay, yeah. Right, so this guy bottom left is like ace queen don't raise, um,
Okay.
which I actually
We
believe
we
in.
ISO to 5 pigs.
Yeah, is that what's your
Yeah,
thoughts
it's
on
fine. I
that?
was just wondering.
Okay, yeah. So I actually believe him when he says ace queen. It's like he says it pre, and then
What do you say? Scary stuff.
I said ace queen is top pair,
Yeah.
scary stuff, and then he just pots that. Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
so top left, just check fold, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What's your thinking on top right?
Um, this is the one where I felt like I should have raised turn because I forgot that I bet flop, uh, bet flop and called turn. But
Yeah. But now you've called the turn. What will be your thought?
um, just that king eye might be good, and he's probably just got a 5 that's not gonna fold.
Bleh. What do you think he? All right. So pause it for a second. What do you think his leading range and then lead turn check river ranges?
Because I've gone like super small on the flop, he's just gonna float some weird stuff like he might just float like any two, like 6, 7, 8, 9, stuff like that to stab turn.
That's some real ambitious. That's some real ambitious
Some
thinking
people
there.
float some weird
So,
stuff.
yeah, I know, but like, okay, so let's think about this logically. Like, for him to float, for you to have the best hand here, he would first of all have to float the flop. Second of all, have to bluff the turn relatively small, and then third of all, have to not bluff the river. It is a very unlikely try combo there. Whereas if he has something like, I don't know, like 6-5, something that he thinks might have showdown value, maybe like a 10.
Yeah.
It's way more likely because you don't have that compound multiplication of this has to happen and this and this and this.
Yeah.
So my thoughts would be that he probably doesn't have a jack, and we can definitely have a jack. So I would just bet like 2x pot or something.
Okay. Yeah. No, that seems good. I normally just put him on like a 5 here, but I'm scared to bluff.
Yeah. Oh no, don't be scared to bluff. Bluffing's great.
No,
That's how you
but
win all your money in these stakes.
Wow, yeah. As you can tell by my red line, it's really low. Bottom
All
right,
right, we'll get that up there.
bottom right. He checks back flop, just bottom turn. He could have kings.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm probably not following through river. No, I might. Yeah, he
I
just
reckon
has,
2x pot would work there.
he has ace high on top right. He just had a gutter and
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah, I mean, he played it bad, but you didn't play much better.
Yeah, yeah.
Open your sevens, man. How come you're 3-betting there, guy? I don't know what his stats are.
It's like a standard free bet, no? Maybe
I mean, it depends. And depends on your stats. Depends on his stats.
He looks just like
What are his?
a reg. Wow, only 100 hands.
What's his fault to 3-bet?
25%, but only 94 hands. Would you not just like as like a standard free bet? Would you not free bet here or?
All right, so we're gonna try and get rid of the word standard as well, because you have enough information to not use standardized thinking. It's like fine to 3-bet, but it's definitely loose. And if you don't have, if you're against someone that has bad stats to 3-bet against, like if they're the kind of person to not fold too many 3-bets, or if they're the kind of person to open tight from that position, then it's going to be losing probably.
Okay, well they look pretty loose. For 94.
Yeah,
hands.
I don't know what his stats mean.
Yeah, top row is like this row. I don't know if you can see it. So I've got 1k hands this session. VPIT, PFR, aggression frequency, 1 at showdown, 3-bet, fold to 3-bet.
Oh no, get rid of the aggression factor. Whatever.
Do you not
it
like
is.
that? I think it's quite good.
It doesn't make it. It's completely arbitrary.
Yeah. I thought it's like how much they see that flop, turn, and river, and like sort of that comes together.
As far as I'm aware, aggression factor is how often they make an aggressive action divided by the amount of times they make an unaggressive action. So how much they bet in comparison to how much they check and fold and shit.
Is that not? Why would you say that's not a decent stat?
Because it's like a real arbitrary stat. Like it just doesn't tell you anything. I've never met any pro that uses any like top pro that uses that.
Okay. So right, so we 3-bet. You betting flop?
Who's the big line?
Fish,
Fish.
cold called.
Yeah. So what would be your thoughts on betting the flop or not?
Fish cold call is just his range is too nutted. It's just gonna be loads of pairs and ace king, ace queen.
What?
It's gonna be like.
Where are his stats there? Is that 38?
58, I think. 58, 26, 2, 54 hands.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say someone with a 58 VPIP probably isn't nutted.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So yeah, I'd give it the old third pot C bet. So you fold him off all those like ace kings, ace queens, and then if he does call, you can still barrel on like an ace or a king or a queen.
Okay, well I take the pussy route and check back.
So it doesn't matter what you do. It just matters your thought process for it.
I mean, I'd probably see that if I had a bit more equity. If I had like if there's a club on the board, or you see what I mean, or if I had like if it was like 2-8 or something.
So it's definitely better, obviously, to see bet with backdoors, but it's actually not that common, especially on these stakes, for it to
like
make that big a difference that it changes your action. So like if you had the 4 of clubs there instead, like a lot more people would see bet, but the difference, your equity in the hand between having the 4 of clubs and not having the 4 of clubs, it's a thing, but it's not huge. And I think it's like such a profitable c bet that it's not
really
it's not really worth thinking about.
3 ways. Just, I mean, with how loose this guy is, I agree. Yeah, but generally, I'm scared to bluff.
If he weren't that loose, like there are just so many people that have sorry, there are just so many combos of big cards that even if he has just like ace queen suited, ace king, and like if he has ace queen off, he's printing. But if he only has ace queen suited and ace king, and he's folding those to a third pot c bet, then you made it. And you can carry him barrel, and if you think he folds turns and shit like that, and the other guys just miss like almost always, so you're all good.
It's probably it doesn't have to work often as well, really, does it? Third.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you limp along here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I'd ISO if they have a loose stat, so I'd just make it like 7 big blind.
Yeah.
No, I just call. Like if they have something like 38, 12 or something, then I might, because then they're probably raising their good hands and in their weak hands.
Yeah. I was going to see that here, but then Hitman.
Oh no, don't check.
He's got 20 big blinds, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It means that he's like hit or miss. Means he could just see that third. Like people with short stacks, they just want to like.
Normally just want to spin it, yeah.
But like if they don't have any piece of the board, which is real likely, then they're not going to want to do that. So you just see that third. Yeah.
So you think
that
sounds like I should just be c-betting a lot more.
By the looks of it, that's a loose open, by the way.
Big blind fish, button fish, and
yeah, it's fine.
Red,
it's cool.
Small blind.
Yeah, it's fine.
Would you defend Queen 7 to just a 2x? Yeah. From button.
Against who?
Potential fish. I normally mark potential fish if they've ever had under 100 big blinds in the pool. I don't know if that's.
Yeah. I mark them fish as soon as they have under 100.
Yeah, and then if they do something actually bad, I normally upgrade into fish.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'd definitely defend against fish.
And I just. Maybe I don't need to go this big, but I just overbet turn.
Yeah, I wouldn't. There's not too much need to do that. I don't think. I think enough fish are just checking back like air hands that just betting like half or something's like just as profitable, probably more profitable. Like you want to fold them off all those like ace highs and shit, and fish get sticky, man.
Would you barrel river?
Yeah. No, I'd just give up.
Yeah.
I think there's
any club
when fish
barrel,
see.
I think.
Yeah, when fish see their hand improve, so if he has like a 9 here and he sees his hand improve to 2 pair, he ain't folding.
Yeah, I thought he's not folding a 9. It's his most likely hand.
So yeah, I would recommend, after seeing this, definitely taking it down to 2 tables for a bit until your thought process is a lot less like GTOE.
I get bored though, and I end up spewing more because I'm so used to 4 tables.
That's not a good rationalization to do bad things. You can't just be like, well, if I this bad thing, another bad thing. It's like, well, if they're your only 2 options, don't do it. Don't do either. Like, you're a human being in control of your own actions. You're capable of sitting there playing 2 tables, and the one thing that will keep you from getting bored will be having a new thought process that you haven't really used that much before, and realizing that by using that thought process, you're making a fuckload of money from it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Would you bet river here, top left?
What do we do on the turn?
Just bet.
How big did we bet on the turn?
I think we went like 70%.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably bet just like kind of dumb small.
I was thinking about betting like a third on river.
This against the guy that you said is a fish.
Yeah. And I ended up just checking.
Yeah, you kind of got the best hand / the drawing with his hand, like almost always. So yeah.
Yeah. Jack 3 suited and open into reg small blind, fish big blind.
It's loose. It doesn't mean it's like it's probably close. I would decide based on the regs 3-bet usually.
Okay, it's got like it's probably too loose.
Kind of just got to call the 6s.
What turn?
Oh, it's on the 10. It's lagging.
Happy birthday to you.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
No way, whose birthday is it?
It's not
Oh my god, happy birthday! Oh, boo!
Right.
Happy birthday, mate. Should have said.
Right.
Where did you get here?
Oh, Dad just gave me an Amazon parcel which I ordered yesterday. So what was it? Oh no, so that 6's hand was
Yes.
kind of weird.
I think your screen's frozen. Has it frozen for everyone else, or is it just mine? Oh, maybe it hasn't frozen. Your mouse is moving.
I've just moved the entire screen now. I'm wiggling the.
Oh, okay.
You see it or not?
Yeah, it's still on the flop.
Maybe if I.
Can you drag the screen up as well so we can start?
Hang
we
on,
can see
I'll close screen sharing and then I'll do it. Oh god, what have I done? Oh god.
So good.
Can you see my screen still? I'm on. Wow, what have I done?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh.
On your top right table, are you on the flop or the 10?
I'm on the flop, but.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. You just paused it. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, you can just press play.
Right. So he bet one big blind on the flop.
Yeah, so.
And then turn he bombs, and the other guy called as well. Well, no, he half pot. I got a flush draw, gut shot. He's playing 42-5 from 118 hands.
Right. I mean, old, but you can consider bluff. And hope you're not considering calling.
Ended up just folding in the end. Would you see bet top left? This guy's kind of tight. 2012.
Is he a fish?
Or
a suspected fish?
Yeah, it would be like a really nitty fish, I think.
Yeah, so fish just overfold to c-bets in general, so you can just bet third.
Okay, and then just barrel off on non-hearts probably.
No, I mean, you're more likely to barrel a heart than a non-heart.
Yeah?
Fish fold. Yeah, fish are scared of flushes.
Yeah, that is true.
Why would you think barrel off on a non-heart?
Just because I don't have a heart. So I'd normally just barrel if I had a heart. I know you hate that sort of thinking.
Yeah, so it's just a GTO thing. It's not really a thing. It's like, imagine if you're a fish there and he calls the turns like the deuce of hearts and like 90% of his range is just one pair. You can make it all fold by the river.
But surely he has more flush combos than I do.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. He doesn't know that. It's not going to be like, oh, I have more flush combos than this regular player.
I know. If he has, obviously, if he has a pair, but I just mean like in general, for barreling flush turns.
So why does it matter that he's got more than you?
Because then if he's just going to have a flush a lot of the time.
No, but that's not relative to how many flushes you have in your range. That you can say, oh, I think he might have a flush a lot of the time, but
there's nothing to do with my range. Yeah.
Sentence you said it exactly. Yeah. So he doesn't actually have a flush a lot of the time. If he calls a c-bet, he has one pair way more often.
So we're sort of setting up a decent barrel spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I would also maybe add in like a pot button on your.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need to have 25 and a 33. So.
Yeah. Right, change that.
just a cool thing here. Okay, pause for a second.
Yeah.
On the top left table, it would be pretty cool to min raise the turn.
We'll just. How come?
Because his range is either ace-x that beats us, or sometimes a 5, and then just a bunch of draws.
Yeah.
So by min raising, we're just kind of repping like a 5 or a boat or something, and it just means that we lose less against his ace-x. Like if he's going to triple barrel, and then we get more against his flush draws.
Okay. Because they're probably not following through bluffs enough of the time to make us want to cool down, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. Sorry, I thought we were in position. I'd take back everything I just said and apply it to it. If he were mid position and we were button, that'd be great. But that ain't the case.
Top left is kind of interesting if he bets. Probably,
yeah, I'm just folding that.
If he bets top right, sorry.
Yeah. No, if he bets top left, I'm folding. Well, I mean, he has bet. So
yeah.
Especially when someone just bets $8 exactly.
I think it's more
it just doesn't feel bluffy at all. Please get rid of the big blind thing.
I will.
Very cool. We'll have some more sessions because there's a lot to dig into here.
Yeah, for sure. There's only it's 13 minutes or so left.
That's alright. There's plenty. So what? That's loose again. Oh, is that 3 fish?
Yeah.
Are you raising the top right into 3 fish?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Alright, that's fine then. What you want to do is instead of ask, hey, what should I do in this spot? You should try and find the theme of a hand and say like, what can I learn from this hand, and how do I change my mode of thinking and apply that to the rest of the hands that I'm going to play. So like, the huge thing at the moment is obviously the GTO thing is just like really, really. I've mentioned it in the chat like a billion times, but evidently you still have it in there. It's just really not a thing. Like you don't want to be playing that against these people with high rake. It's going to be really hard to win consistently. Like I don't know if you've ever watched Doug Polk play his Bankroll Challenge, but he ain't so good.
Yeah, it's painful.
It's
even painful for me to watch that. It's like,
yeah.
Out of position.
There's a certain thing of like, instead of betting 4 there, betting just like half, because like 488 or whatever it is, like 244 looks so much bigger than 2 to a fish.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. That's why I normally don't go 33% out of position. I normally go like 40%, just because people seem to float a lot more versus that in position.
Yeah.
They almost feel like
it's also looking into this, how big the specific number looks. So like betting $5 looks so much smaller than betting 488, 478 or something.
Yeah. What do you think about lead and turn here, top right, bottom right?
Against who?
A fish, most likely.
10 bitches.
You went like half
Give you
on
that.
the flop.
It makes the hand very difficult to play, because if he calls the turn, unless it's a 5 on the river, I'm gonna struggle with that.
Yeah, but we're just gonna check fold river and just thinking that he doesn't bluff enough, and we're just sort of like
he can
protecting our
have
hand
slightly.
here.
No, I understand the thought process, but like he can just have like king jack with a heart or something, call the turn, and then we're just check folding against the best hand.
Yeah, but that's me thinking that they don't bluff enough. Like,
why would you think if a fish got to the river with king high, he wouldn't bluff?
This guy especially is pretty passive. I know you don't like using that aggression frequency, but it's fairly low, and he's sort of like a limp, coolly kind of player, so he's probably pretty passive.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're going to do this, you want to be betting just like small on the river or something to stop a fish from. No, you can't even do that. No, I just say just don't do it. Like it's it's just not like if it wasn't a three heart board, I think it'd be fine. Because then you're protecting against high cards and stuff like that. But when it's a 3-heart board, you're just like, it's just real hard.
Yeah, he ended up having 4s of the heart, which doesn't tell us anything, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to speak too much about that because the thought process seems fine. I just disagree with the outcome.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
fine. I just disagree with the action. Yeah. Again on the top right. Nice. I wouldn't bet an exact number against a fish just because fish call against exact numbers. But I'll stop saying that now.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got there and he folded. Oh, actually, yeah. There's a pretty good hand coming up, actually.
What was your reason for shoving?
What, shoving river?
Yeah.
I mean, I just get the money and got the nuts. I don't see any.
It's not a great thought process, to be honest, mate.
Whatever size we want to do.
Well, you have lots of different sizes available to you. You have to. It's fine to shove.
Between 1 and 40, yeah. I just thought.
What I'm asking is like, what's your thought process?
I mean,
because it seems to me like that might be a spot where you might not have a thought process, and you're just like all in because we have pot left and we have the nuts.
Yeah, it's a pretty good thought process versus a fish, no? If you have the nuts, all in.
No, it's not at all. Sorry, you got it. Like you're playing against a fish where you've got down to the river and they have like a real specific range. You know that fish, like if he has just like a king there, he's probably not going to call off an entire stack. Like people tend not to when you just raise pre-flop, bet, shove. If he has 2-pair, you can bet a size that is going to make him shove anyway. And he most often has either a 10 or a king. So it's actually relatively hard for him to have a non-2-pair ace. I actually can't think of any. Because he limp call pre, so like ace 3. No, that's 2-pair, sorry. No, I just can't think of any. So like we're not trying to get value from an ace, we're trying to get value from 2-pair plus, or we could choose to try and get value from 1-pairs, which would mean that, we could bet like 5 to 7 big blinds, and then all of his 2-pairs can just shove anyway.
Yeah. Okay. That seems good.
So like what I would gain from like the insight I would gain about your game from that hand is that, and that thought process is that you're not thinking through ranges enough and trying to exploit specific ranges. You just have a few like set quote unquote rules in your head about how you should be playing.
Yeah.
Which is first of all going to be killing in the short term your equity, but it's also going to be like intellectually stagnating, where you're not thinking through like, how do I find the most creative way to win this hand? How do I bluff this hand? How do I win this pot? You're just going to be thinking, well, I've got to do this because this.
Because of my hand.
And that is going to be a huge difference between being like a solid okay player and a crushing player.
Okay. Yeah.
And don't take it to heart or anything, because like literally everyone plays like that.
No.
Super okay. Like there's so much misinformation going around the poker world. That if you've ever watched videos, you'll see people being like, oh, you got to do this and you got to do this. But it's just not true. Like your note there.
Wait, what was the note?
It was like floated 7-6 on 5-5 deuce 2 clubs lol.
Yeah, see? Told you. Floating crazy stuff. I got loads of crazy, like, dumb notes. It's normally just me raging. Just like you get
here
and
on
you're
the
like,
top left, I think you're missing a c-bet. It looks like obviously because your hand misses the board, that blah blah blah, you shouldn't c-bet. But again, like you're playing against a fish that pause it for a second.
Yeah.
You're playing against a fish that doesn't really think things through, and most hands are overcards to that board, especially hands that people play. So just put in like a half or c-bet, and you'll get a bunch of folds.
Okay, yeah. It sounds like I should just be c-betting a lot more. My c-bet's about, I think from my sample, is about 45%, which...
Yeah, I mean, 45 is lower than GTO, and GTO is definitely lower than you should be playing against fish.
Right, okay.
Yeah, my c bet on these stakes would probably be like 75 to 80. But instead of just thinking like, oh, I should be c betting more, try and think like, why should I be c betting more? Like, what is it about their ranges that I should be exploiting?
Yeah.
That Jack 9 suit you should be playing. So.
What, it's 3-bet or cool or either?
I didn't say who it was, but against anyone.
Yeah,
it
looked like a fish cut off.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just call it because he's not deep. But if he's deep, then 3-bet.
Yeah.
By deep, I mean like 100 bigs.
Waiting for the 9's hand to come up. That's a good hand.
Yeah. I know you're taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. How was your swimming?
Yeah, I drank a load of pond water and now I think I'm sick.
Cool story, mate. Go back to the ace queen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back on mute.
What's that guy's open under the gun? 11%.
11%. Yeah, he's playing 21-11 with a 3% free bet from 180 hands.
I would call that still. Ace queen's a good old hand. Ace queen's a real good hand.
I would just snap free bet here, but yeah.
Why 3-bet?
I don't know. It just plays better. I thought.
Not really, seeing you're playing against a tight dude.
I don't do a lot of like cold calling. I normally just free bet or fold.
Yeah, don't do that. You can call a bunch.
Them.
Well, I'm hesitant to just give like blanket rules like that, but that's the spot where you can. If you're not considering it, then yeah.
Okay.
I would 3-bet the 8-6 here.
Instead, we get the golden flop.
I would have got a golden flop in a 3-bet pot.
Well, you bet and flop, check and flop, kings.
I probably check.
MP's a good rag, and then button's like a knit fish.
Yeah, I'd check. Helen, I know you wouldn't check here on bottom right probably. So I'm just going to mention quickly that it's good to check because this is the kind of board that we're not going to get 3 streets of value from, and if we do, we're going to be behind. So you just want to play some pop control.
Yeah, they've just got every set combo, don't they?
I don't know what pot control is.
Pot control is try and keep the pots.
I'm joking.
Cool. Good one, mate. Anyway, another big reason is that if the turn is a 6, 8, 10, Jack, Queen, not Queen, sorry, Jack, or an Ace, it's just real fucking hard to play. And we're just gonna have to like check and fold to a bunch of bluffs and shit like that. So it's good to just like check here, call a bet, and if it checks through and it's a brick, just like pot it or something.
And we get the worst turn ever.
Five's pretty big.
What, for kings?
Yeah, I'd go smaller with kings and then just bigger with stuff that isn't kings. Who knows?
Yeah.
I would check the turn here.
Yeah.
And just shove. Like if it goes check, you just shove river. Because fish they really don't like it when you go bet check bet.
I just thought I can just stack a queen and get value for jack just with how small.
Well, you can stack a queen anyway. I think it's more likely to stack something like 8-9 if you go bet check bet, and here you're probably fucked. Whoa, unlucky.
I need 25% on the turn there. He's only got 36.
Oh no, you're calling. No, I'm not having a go. Yeah, super standard call. Yeah, I was just saying whoa about the river.
Yeah, I know. It does feel like we're screwed here, but can't really fold.
Yeah.
So nine's hands is funny.
Yeah. At least you didn't stop and wait for the You didn't stop and wait for the run out on the top left. It's such a nice feeling.
I decided to click it back just because like how quickly he snap raised the flop. It just felt like he had a 7.
Yeah, seems fun.
I mean, and we're like 150 big blinds deep. I'm not sure we're gonna stack a 7 all the time if we just cool down on certain runouts.
Yeah, I think it's really good thought process.
He's not gonna have really many bluffs, and if he does, he's gonna continue flop. If I just click, how about like a flush draw or 7?
Yeah. Oh, that run out. It's a nice one. Yeah, I think that's something that people don't do enough. Just like raise their night hands.
Yeah, just fast
I don't know.
value, even, yeah.
You know, I went through a phase of like the first 2 or 3 months. Actually, it was like the first 2 months. Nah, the first 2 months of teaching Helena, she punted and spewed every hand. I was really teaching her. Then when I started actually coaching her, she never bet her big hands and never raised her big hands ever. So she had like huge pots with bluffs and then tiny pots with value hands. And so did the other guy that I was coaching as well. I was literally every single session saying, bet your big hands as a standard. Yeah, it took months. I don't know if we got there yet, to be honest.
This
Hi,
isn't
Helena.
about me.
It was definitely about you. So what I'm going to say at the end, I'm going to say now, just so I say it twice, is that your homework, you can call the small blind there with 5s, by the way, against a fishy.
Yeah.
Your homework is to 2-table and record. I can't promise I'm going to watch them because I'm going to be out of the country, but so like Helena can watch them or someone else, and go through. Pause for a second.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's loads of big spots here. Actually.
You're going to need to go through your hand versus their range and why you're choosing each specific size. You don't have to do it in like just like super standard spots, but like in basically all spots, being like, I'm choosing this size c-bet because I think he has loads of these kind of hands and I want to get value from those hands, and then I want to get value from this on the turn and this on the river kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because once you get yourself in that kind of repetitive cycle of thinking through their ranges, then you'll have a way better intuition of how to exploit that. Because at the moment, what you're doing isn't, you're 4-tabling in a way that isn't thinking enough. So like, even though you're probably a winning player at these stakes, and it's like 4-tabling is obviously better than 2-tabling, your thought process isn't going to be improving at all, and you're going to just be stuck at these stakes for a really long time, in my opinion, if you carry on doing that.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is playing kind of like that as well, and to really get yourself above everyone else, you need to be able to exploit everyone at this other table. You need to be the best player at the table. And, if you saw like the stuff we're kind of playing at these stakes, you wouldn't see him just playing super standard. You'd see him playing every hand kind of weird. And there's a reason for that. It's because everyone else plays kind of bad. So you can exploit that by playing kind of weird. And it's got to be some smart weirdness as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Definitely.
That was inspiring.
Yeah.
That's right, mate. Yeah, I bet you've been missing those.
Right, so we got 3.
Since Andy quit.
We got 3.
Yeah, so all of them seem like the ones on the right both just seem like barrel spots. Especially the king queen. I hope you don't check. Just go and bet that shove.
See what we do.
I think that the top right is way too big, so
Okay.
You bet almost half pot in a spot where pause it for a second.
Yeah.
So you want to see bet a size that's going to fold him off all his pairs, like 7s, 10s, whatever. A third pot will do that easily. 25% will probably do it as well, because people, when you 3-bet, they're going to put you on either aces, kings, queens, or ace king, and all of those hands beat 7s, for instance.
Yeah.
So by going half, you're just losing more against an ace and a flush draw, because flush draws probably beat us.
I normally go smaller, but I normally get floated by not floated. They normally end up still calling 7s, 8s, and 9s. So I normally just
Not usually on these boards. I've played enough of these stakes recently to know it won't happen on these boards. In general, betting small, you will get floated a bunch, but no, not yet.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, call the king queen hooks. Hopefully. Okay.
What do you think about
That is.
raising?
What's his 3-bet from the big blind?
I just know his 3-bet overall is 10%.
So here's where you're making a big mistake. You need to know whether he's 3-betting 10% from the big blind or whether it's like 2%.
Actually, no, I think I just did, actually. I think I did get it up. Let's have a look. I definitely got something up, but I might have clicked on the wrong thing. Oh no, I think I clicked on his C-bets in 3-bet parts. Let's have a look. It's only 143 hands.
So yeah, the relevant stat is big blind 3-bet, because quite a lot of players they don't 3-bet bluff in the big blind at all. So you might just be up against like ace king, ace queen, aces, kings, queens, jacks, tens.
Yeah.
And none of those are folding, in my experience.
No.
Kudos. Yeah, you gotta just give up with the jack 10.
Yeah, it's horrible on
that. Another note, I might try and get rid of the saying stuff is horrible and like the worst turn card, because optimism pays off in the long run. Legit.
Gross. Alright, not the best river card in the deck.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I would have actually considered calling there as well.
Really?
Because you bet pretty small. Yeah, you bet small on the flop, right?
Yeah.
So you just get floated a bunch by like king highs and shit. His sizing is currently he's repping like a jack. Kinda. He's not repping 2-pair for sure. And now on the river he's repping what, a flush or a straight?
Yeah, I guess I'm not. Well, he goes 8 into 14. Yeah, it's like 60%.
Yeah, like he bet too quickly as well for it to be 2-pair, so he's kind of repping a flush or straight, and then he's got a bunch of bluffs. So I'd say just call that one. Yeah.
Oh, this is the guy with the 9s we stacked earlier.
The guarded.
Yeah. He starts raging.
Oh, poor dude. What's he saying?
Fuck off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, cool. You see, Ant. He typed it wrong the first time. How humiliating. Oh, no.
He says, run it twice. Snap jams. I actually didn't know what to do. I was like,
I think your screen's paused for a second, so I can't. Yeah, it still just says see Ant on mine.
I'll try and. Can you see it yet, or?
No, it's still lagging. Helena, what's it look like on yours?
Mine's fine.
Fuck. Alright.
So that.
Then. Oh, no, we're good now.
Alright.
I want to know what happens.
Did we check? Yeah, we checked. What do you say? Your fault, you call. Brutal. So easy to win these arguments when you won the pot. Yeah, I just call it.
You cool?
I'm not really thinking. Yeah, I'm not thinking it through, but I think I just call it.
Diamond
every now and again, he's just got like.
What are we versus an ace? We're about like just under 40% versus an ace, right?
Yeah, probably like 5 or something. Yeah.
Ended up folding. Never know what he has.
Yeah, I mean when he's talking, it's definitely more of a fold. So
yeah, that's kind of what I thought as well. I was like, when he says your diamond draw is good. Here you're gonna hate top left, I think.
I'll never hate a hand. I'll hate a thought process. Whoa, you open an ace 8?
Hey?
I assume not. Oh, it's lagging again. I see.
Oh no.
I think it might be me, so I might close it and rejoin.
It's got like 2 minutes left. Well, not even that. Like 30 seconds left.
Okay, you hear me?
Yeah. You see it?
All right, cool. No, I didn't see.
No,
I-
can you see the screen though?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, this Jack 10 hand, I think you'll hate, but it's player dependent. This guy's super. So I was thinking about check raising, and then I just decided to call.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, dude. Unless his note is every time we check call, he 9x shoves the turn. I don't like it.
And then I go small to try and
What?
reduce first, like a 10.
What if he just calls a 10?
I don't think he'll just call a 10.
Yeah, me neither. Don't worry. What was your thought process for check calling the flop?
I was gonna check raise turn. I think check raise flop probably looks a bit too nutted, and I don't know. I just feel like I want some hands which check call flop, which.
No.
I know.
All right. None of that. Literally, if you can take anything from this, every single time you have any of those thoughts, like literally just hit yourself. I'm alright for self-harm if that's like the way forward. So what you're doing there is you're taking some big old rules about poker and you're ignoring ranges. You're saying like, oh, it looks too strong when we check raise the flop, but you're not thinking like, oh, what if he has a combo draw? What if he has a set? What if he has 2-pair? What if he has like 10-9? What if he has Jack-9? You know, any of those hands that are calling a check raise, and you're now not stacking because of that one thought of like, I don't want to look strong. Yeah. It's like sometimes it looks strong. Sometimes people think you haven't got anything and they just call down with like 10-9 or whatever. It's real player dependent, and it's not only player dependent, it's mood dependent as well. And sometimes people will just spaz out with top pair and just be like, no, I think he's full of shit. I think he's got ace 10.
Yeah.
And if you got any of that shit in your repertoire, it's going to be burning quite a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I need to just get the value when I have a good hand.
Yeah.
Even versus a reg.
It's alright. It's really good for me to be able to go over this and say it like 1,000 times so Helena can finally fucking get it in her head.
Fuck you! Get it!
You haven't got it tattooed yet. I don't trust that you get it. It's good. Oh, pause there just for Helena. It's good to see that second pair just because there are so many hands that will call that we beat. So like if you have 6-7, 6-8, 8-7, King Jack, King 10, any 9x, any 5x, all of those hands are going to call and we beat all of them. So even though I tell you to check a lot of second pairs, that's a good spot to see that.
Yep. Did you just go third or?
Yeah, that's fine. Make sure the gut shot's cool. You don't want to go too much bigger. So I assume this is the end now.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate, you need to start two-tabling. You need to start recording a bit more, and you need to start thinking through their ranges specifically, not your range.
Mm-hmm.
Can be like, oh, I look like this to a fish. I look like I've got a strong hand because I've triple barreled or whatever, but don't be like, oh, my range, sometimes I check here, sometimes I raise here, like whatever.
Yeah.
You want to be saying, this is my opponent's range. How do I exploit that optimally using the hand that I have? And I know it sounds real simple, but no one does it, and that's literally all you need to be thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've got 2 pair. How do I get value from this part of his range and this part of his range, this part of his range? I've got 2nd pair. How do I get value from this, but also not lose more from this? And all right, I've got a bluff. How big do I need to bet to make this part of his range fold? If I bet this much, how much of his range will fold? If I bet this and then shove the river, how much will his range will fold? And that really is just like huge, especially for bluffing. Your red line should be going up, and it will be going up if you use that, and if you're not 4-tabling and getting all whatevs. And it's good that you can 4-table, because it means that once you get this thought process and rebuilds and take away all the shit that's going to be mucking your thought process up, then you can just go back to 4-tabling and it'll be volume player again, and it's super fun.
Okay.
Which is more than a lot of people can do, so we'll take it.
Yeah, that's a positive to take away.
I don't get me wrong. Most of the things you were doing were good. It's just that we don't have infinite time, and it's better for me to pick up on this stuff that isn't.
There's no point picking up on
And
stuff.
trust me, if I watched anyone play, including like Ben, the guy I've been coaching forever, if I watched him play now, I'd still be saying just as many criticisms and shit.
No, that's what
you're all good.
It. All right, thanks a lot. All right, I'll try.
Peace,
see
guys.
if this works. This recording.